Brock, ready to do the whole intro shit, shindig?
Yes, yes, sir. All right, here we go.
If we're doing the countdown, don't give me the fucking Elon Musk rocket countdown again. Just give me like a normal fucking countdown, bro.
7,
Motherfucker.
6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the High Rollers Podcast. It's your man, Big Lonn 412. Got my guy, Brock Schaefer, in the building, and we are joined by no other than the goddamn living legend himself, Calvin Klein's next plus size underwear model, Mr. Roy Big Country Nelson.
Well, thanks for having me. And thanks for coming on.
Putting up with us. So, Roy, man, it's a pleasure to have you on here. We can jump straight into it. I'm not even sure a lot of people even understand, like, everybody know about the goddamn bombs you can drop, but I don't think people really even understand or respect that you really are a black belt at jiu-jitsu. Like, not just some fucking, like, guy who was given a black belt, but you are fucking a real legit hard-earned black belt at jiu-jitsu. Can you like speak upon your jiu-jitsu lineage and your travels and you know what I mean, the whole shindig?
Yeah, no, you know what? I think I've been doing jiu-jitsu since '99, so I've been doing it for a little minute. But like it was one of those things like with when you find like wrestling, you're like, oh, I'm actually pretty good at this. And then when I found jiu-jitsu, I was like, oh, this is wrestling with submissions. This is pretty cool. And I was just a natural at it. And then I actually started coaching everybody. And then when I started coaching everybody, then that's when I really fell really in love, because I'm like, dude, I'm robbing people. I'm getting paid to teach jiu-jitsu. It's so awesome.
That's fucking dope. That's dope. Now, your jiu-jitsu, where's it started? Your lineage, you know what I mean? Break it down for us one time.
Lineage is, like I started like literally in Vegas when there was literally, I think there was 2 jiu-jitsu schools. It was like Ricardo Perez and like Sergio Pena. They were one group, and then John Lewis and Andre Perneris. And that was the other group. And that was like literally there was only 2 jiu-jitsu schools in all of Vegas. And then started with John Lewis, and then also did Sergio Pena, Ricardo Perez, and then ended up all from doing the IFL and stuff. I ended up getting my black belt from Henzo all the way on the East Coast.
Oh, you know? Nice.
Because when I started doing jiu-jitsu, getting really good, then I started doing world travels. I'm like, dude, I'm getting paid to do jiu-jitsu, and I'm traveling the world doing jiu-jitsu. And then plus it's an honor to always get a belt from a Gracie, which, you know, where Brazilian jiu-jitsu came from.
Yeah, you go. And it was the wild Gracie.
It was the one that you were like, oh, dude, he's actually fighting. Look at that. Look what Sakuraba did to his arm, and he's still going. What? I'm still here.
Yeah, right. Fucking whole 3-piece chicken wing snap back there. He's like, I didn't fucking quit. I didn't quit. The fuck you stopping for?
I got a good arm. I got one good arm.
Bro, that was the day. Like when I seen that, that's I'm not sure if it was which pride it was, the actual number, but when I watched that one, that literally was the day I was like, yo, I think I'm gonna do jiu-jitsu. And I'm pretty sure I'm gonna try jiu-jitsu. Then right after that, I watched some sort of countdown. I think it was Nick Diaz and like BJ Penn. And Nick was like, yo, he's not a true martial artist. You know, I'm a true martial artist. I do jiu-jitsu. And then I was like, what the fuck? Like, Nick Diaz does jiu-jitsu. This crazy motherfucker over here does jiu-jitsu. His arm is bent. So dove down the lane, dove down the tunnel, and just researched it. And like, Henzo Gracie jiu-jitsu. All right, cool. And then I'm like, oh shit, like this is actually the chicken wing arm. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it actually, like this is that damn guy. So it was just like straight downhill from there. But it's crazy that you got your belt from Henzo. I'm like the biggest Henzo fan. Still never said one word to him. Been like in the room about like 4 feet away from him. He like pushed me one time and checked like my massness on my body. Like, so he was like, you're big as fuck, man. God. And I was like, holy shit. And I just like froze and didn't say anything like a punk. And then he left. And that was it. That's like my only Enzo story. Everybody's like, yo, you never met Enzo? I was like, dog, I'm like terrified to meet Enzo. Like, I don't fan out about nothing, but Enzo's like my one guy. I'm like, yo, he's dope as fuck. And I just like, every time I see him, I'm just like, ah. Like,
you heard it here first.
Right now, you'll always have an opener. Next time you ever see Enzo, you just say, hey, Roy says hi.
I'm not saying anything, bro. I'm gonna just keep walking past like I always do. I'm like, it's Enzo. Yeah, no, but it's cool. That's cool as shit though. But then there's so how did you go? Did you go from jiu-jitsu to MMA, or were you one of the guys who was kind of like fighting first, then found jiu-jitsu, or?
No, I was I'm a school teacher, or I was as a teacher. Mm-hmm. And I love the feeling when you teach somebody in that aha moment where they're like, oh, okay, I get it. Yeah, like that aha. And then I found out that when I started coaching jiu-jitsu to other UFC fighters, MMA fighters, I got that same aha moment. So I was like, oh, I don't actually have to teach. 3 + 3 is 6, and doing all that. I can do the aha moment, by teaching jiu-jitsu. And I was a coach first. And the only reason why I even started fighting was because I got stiffed by an MMA fighter. And I was like, I'm going to go take your money. And that's how I started fighting.
That's fucking awesome. Hell yeah. That's a reason to fight right there. Oh, yeah. Brock, don't be sitting there all quiet and shit. Come on, Brock, talk. Say something. You like, goddamn, you like that little thing on Mortal Kombat. Oh, jeez.
Yeah, so was jiu-jitsu the first martial art you got into? Or
no, I've been, the very first martial art was, the standard rec, Parks and Rec, a little Kokushin karate. And then from Kokushin karate, I ended up getting a black sash in Shaolin Kung Fu. And then Kung Fu led me into jiu-jitsu, and then jiu-jitsu led me into fighting.
I've been doing martial artist, bro.
Yeah, true.
I've been doing
martial
artist. I think 83. That's how long I've been doing martial arts, since 83. Like right around American Ninja, and like Karate Kid.
Yeah, American Ninja. Y'all don't know about fucking Michael Dudikoff, boy. Yeah, y'all look him up. He was supposed to be the first big action star, but I don't know what fucking happened. But
so, who were your martial art heroes growing up? Since you're really ingrained in the cultures of like kind of all the martial arts that came over during that time period.
Mark Dudikoff, duh. Then we had. You also had the Don Wilson. That was in the 90s. Back before Billy Blanks was doing Taibo. Billy Blanks was a action B movie star with Don Wilson during that, the 90 VHS. Of course, Van Damme, because that was 88, 89 with Bloodsport. Then like early 80s and like mid 80s was nothing but ninja movies.
Come on, you gotta say his name. Say his name, bro. Come on, say it. Come on, one time here. No Chuck Norris? No Chuck Norris?
Chuck Norris Chuck Norris did good martial art movies in the 70s. He didn't do it in the 80s. 80s became all like shoot 'em up.
Big action, Cobra and all that shit.
Yeah, that wasn't martial arts.
That was murder art.
You know what I mean? That was like shoot 'em up. It was kind of like trying to stick with the the Arnold Schwarzenegger and Sylvester Stallone blowing stuff up.
Yeah. Yup. You're right.
There was no martial arts. There was no that was Chuck Norris martial arts was in the 70s. That's what like with the Bruce Lee, like all like the I think one of my favorite movies as a kid was No Retreat, No Surrender, the very first Van Damme movie where he didn't even speak.
All about the action.
But do you know the very first movie you ever see Van Damme in a movie? Do you know what movie that was?
not Cyborg. No, not Predator.
He wasn't the star. He wasn't the star. Very first movie I think he ever was ever in.
Was it Predator?
No. Beach Street. He was a dancer in the background going.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yo, what's his name in that shit too? Vin Diesel.
Dude, they're all like, I mean, when you kind of go back, you're like, oh, that's where you started. Like,
yeah. Oh no, you know what? Van Damme was supposed to be the Predator, but then the suit didn't fit right or something, so they switched him out. And the dude, literally from Pittsburgh, right from here, ended up playing the Predator.
Oh wow!
And he played Bigfoot and Harry and Henderson and all that shit like that.
Then that means he's a big guy.
Yeah, he was like 7 foot something. I forgot, man. He's big as hell though. But yeah, look, we can't start talking about movies. I'll get off. I'm a movie nerd, bro. Like I'm a movie nerd. I love them. But
so for a big dude, Roy, have you always kind of grown up as like a bigger guy? And B, if so, have you always had that kind of deliberateness and kind of lightweight flow to you? Or how did you achieve that? Was that from the childhood martial arts?
You know what? I would like to say, I've always been an athlete my whole, entire life. Like my favorite sport, growing up was playing baseball. Like I was going to be a pro baseball player. That was like my dream and my goal until I got to roughly high schoolish. And then that's when I learned about politics and about like, if your parents are boosters and who's coach's son and like like that whole, I was like, I'm out. I don't want to play. Then that's when I found wrestling. I was like, oh, this is an individual sport. I love it. It's just me. Then but athletic, like I big guy. Like, I mean, in high school, I didn't, I was 189 pounds. And then my senior year, I wrestled heavyweight, which was like, I was like 210 pounds. So I was a light heavy, I was light for a heavyweight, wrestling and, 210 and then stayed 210 to 225. And then I put on some man muscle and, then went up to about 240. And then from there, just, slowly when you start aging, your metabolism slows down. Oh, that's what metabolism.
Yeah, that's what me too. Metabolism. No, but oh yeah, one of the other subjects I want to definitely touch on or speak on kind of earlier would be, so that whole experience, like what was it like being matched up and doing the whole dance and meeting and greeting with Kimbo Slice that you know what I mean in the house that time?
Like meeting with Kimbo, like I just wish they would actually show the like behind the scenes. Like after I beat Kimbo, we were actually roommates.
Oh.
So like he slept, in the same room as me, so like the interaction that we had after the fight, I was like, I showed him exactly how I beat him, like how I was going to beat him. Like he's like, did you already know? I'm like, yeah, this is what we're going to, like kind of basically the plan. And then he was like, oh, wow. And then when I taught him about the MMA business, he taught me about the porn business, like, so it was one of those like give and take. But when everybody in the house was like, found out Kimbo was there and they're like, oh, I want to fight him. I'm like, I don't want to fight him. And they're like, dude, you're stupid. I'm like, well, I'm not stupid. I want to get paid. And then basically when you fight in the fighter house, the tough, you don't get paid crap. So, or for what you think, what kind of show you're putting on, you're not getting paid crap.
Yeah. Gotcha. Completely understand. So then now, Roy, what's it like being a part of High Rollerz, man?
High Rollerz is definitely a put me, to a whole different, level, just because, especially but it brought me back to like when I first started jiu-jitsu, just how much like love that people have for jiu-jitsu, and that and just kind of thinking outside the box of like, oh, what, you know, like, well, what if I do this, or can I do this? You know, it's kind of brings the like when you kind of start a new martial art and you're just like, oh, what about this, or what did we, you know, like just the love for the sport again. And I think that's where high rollers kind of changed the perspective, because especially when everybody that's involved with high rollers, they, you know, they just love jiu-jitsu, and not like love it jiu-jitsu like when you start going the like Abu Dhabi way, or you know, like where it's the higher, I don't want to say where they're pushing, where it's like about getting paid more versus doing straight jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, gotcha. Completely understand. Now, is it
how has the game evolved? Like, as far as like what you're seeing the product now versus how when you started 24 years ago?
You know what? It kind of goes in cycles. Like you'll see, like when jiu-jitsu first started, the wrestlers were doing really, really well, and all you had to do is be a wrestler and no footlocks. And that, like, oh wait, that's where we're at right now. So like when it started, you just had to be a wrestler and footlocks, and then now we're back to wrestlers and footlock. Because if you know how to wrestle, take someone down and stand over him, and then grab a heel and, you know, rip somebody's leg off, then that's where we're at. Because there's not like, you don't see anybody in gi. It's still the same thing. Whoever pulls guard first usually wins.
So, do you see jiu-jitsu and wrestling kind of evolving into like each other more so now?
On submission, like no gi, submission grappling is wrestling jiu-jitsu. That's a combination, but regular jiu-jitsu is regular jiu-jitsu with the gi. It's a whole nother beast. It's the game's slower, and it requires more thinking about technique, where submission wrestling is still like who's bigger, stronger, faster, kind of like wrestling.
Gotcha. Now, what you like better, gi or no gi?
Depends on what kind of mood I'm in.
No, Roy, that's not what I'm asking you, Roy. What you like better, Roy, gi or no gi?
No. If I'm like, it'd be like do you want to go to Disneyland or do you want to go to Magic Mountain?
I don't even know what they are.
You know, like, are you going for a casual roll? Like, you know, a casual stroll, like, you know, like I like beaches, you know, like a midnight walks on the beach. That's like that's straight jiu-jitsu and a gi. Where you're like, I'm enjoying this. Is very romantic. And then with no gi, then it's like we're getting after it. We're it's more like CrossFit. We're gonna get at it and we're gonna work.
Oh my gosh, it's more like CrossFit. Hey, man, what the hell? All right, so now, how do you feel like the marijuana and the jiu-jitsu? Like, how's it been melting together since you get to see it like super up and close and personal more than like a lot of people?
I think it's you definitely like it's like I said, it takes the like you know, the people that usually, you know, that are involved, they just love the, you know, the sport, the straight jiu-jitsu, and then they go for submissions. They go for, you know, like they're just like they don't really have a care. So it takes the anxiety of like, I'm gonna look bad, I'm gonna look stupid, so I'm not gonna go for a submission, or you know, they're like, fuck it, let's do it.
Yeah. That's what I thought everybody. I'm like, it's not a performance enhancing drug, but it is a confidence enhancing drug. Like, I'm doing that shit. I don't even give a fuck. Go for it. Like, that's the best. Like, that's the most out of it right there. But, shit, Brock, what's up? You got anything for Roy? Don't give him no basic ass janitor questions either. Bro.
Hey, so I have a question. What's your opinion on having the jiu-jitsu in the cage like we've been doing? Or do you think that puts on a better performance or opens up different types of techniques for it, or what's your opinion?
it definitely changes different techniques. But if anything, it helps put a perspective for jiu-jitsu guys to understand how fighters actually feel when they get pushed up against a cage and you can't sprawl and you can't, like it's just like wrestling is a lot easier in a ring versus a cage. But open mat is a lot harder than in a cage or in ring. So it's kind of all. It depends on what kind of game you actually have. If you're like a guard puller, then it doesn't matter. If you're but if you're a takedown guy, the hardest would be an open mat versus and then it kind of goes to ring and then it goes cage. But some people, MMA guys know how to use the cage as like a third leg.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Got you.
What is your yeah. Sorry, it was.
I can never tell what the fuck you're doing over there,
it was lagging for a second.
It wasn't lagging. You're just fucking crazy. Don't be lying over here, bro. He's like, it was lagging. No, it wasn't. You're crazy. That's all that's going on.
Yeah. With high rollers, has it been cool for you to see, a lot of different MMA guys and people from around the world that might not even smoke weed, but come out for the, level of jiu-jitsu and the environment that they're seeing?
Yeah, the one thing about high rollers is they definitely try to make it. You guys, what I've seen is always trying to make it an event, and that's where when you make it an event, you're kind of like, well, I need to go check this out. I need to go see this. I need to, see what's going on. Plus, you're also entertained with the matches, because like I said, there's a lot of people that go for submissions when you're like, yeah, I don't know if I'd go for that, but let's go for it.
Let's go for it.
Hold my joint, watch this.
Never. And a lot of people, like I say, one thing about high rollers, the experience you get from it majorly is like, it's not a lot of times you get to basically be a super fight or one-on-one. All the lights and everything is on you. Like I've seen white belts come in, like even for their open, and they're like, wait, this is just me and him? Like all y'all are about to watch us? Like, and just to see that right there, like that's one of my favorite parts. And I see that, and I've seen people say, oh shit, y'all all about to watch us? Hold on. They'll run to the corner, hit the weed a couple of times, like take, inhale that shit, breathe it out, and then come back out. And you can see them looser, and they're like, all right, y'all about to watch us. Like, you know what I mean? Like, right. You can see it go from y'all about to watch us to, yeah, y'all about to watch us. That's right. Like, it changes instantly. I've seen it in white belts. I've seen one of my favorite people I've seen it was we had a white belt come. I think he's actually like a famous dancer or something. His name is Nick. I call him Nicky G. His name is Nick. White belt. He came out there, was super like, oh shit, you know what I mean? Oh, then it's like he seen it was like one-on-ones. So like, oh shit, like hold on, like so he goes over, smokes, you know what I mean? Come back, he's loose as hell. First jiu-jitsu tournament he's ever done in his life. He's like, I'm gonna do this one. Like looking crazy at first, like why are we ready? Boom, boom, boom. Then he go hits, he's relaxed, and once he relaxed, I was like, oh shit, like this dude, like he might do some motherfucker one like. He won gold, and I think the other one, he made it to the finals and won silver. I mean, got the silver medal, but just to see it, his first tournament, see his all that rage, craziness going on, and then seeing it turn into like a smooth, like, you know what I mean? He went from like a fucking Arnold movie to like John Wick when he put the suit on. Like, I was like, damn, at first I'm like, yeah, he's pumped up, he's jacked, but now it's like, hey man, that smooth motherfucker, like, you might hurt somebody over there. Like, so... Like, just to see that change, that's one of my favorite things I always get to see at high rollers. And then also one of my favorite things is, like, I look over at the table and fucking Roy, Big Country Nelson is over there announcing, dog. That's, like, the best shit ever. And I always play it cool. But I never get to tell you, but I am a huge fan. Thank you for doing that shit, too, bro. That's, like, one of my favorite things.
That's why I'm excited to come out for May 28th.
Oh, yeah, Arizona, that is right. I'm going to come out there, too. I'll be there. No, I'm just laughing. Yeah, but definitely that's gonna be crazy as hell. Now, onto the goddamn juicy shit. Man, Man, what's up, man? That boy, he ain't know. He thought it was sweet. He ain't know about that. He ain't know about Big Country. Like, did somebody not tell him? Like, he got in there looking like he was like, oh, yeah, you know. I was like, wow. So, Roy, talk about that bare-knuckle MMA fight. Game Brad.
You know what? It was definitely different. Throughout the week, or actually since I got the call, it was because I've been talking to like Mo the Wall, and we're talking about, you know, hands. Like the one thing about bare knuckle I was always afraid of is breaking my hands because I've broke my hands quite a bit just with a 4-ounce glove. So I was like, I'm like, when you hit hard, you kind of start worrying about, I don't know. But the one thing I've learned about bare knuckle is it actually makes you more accurate, because you start learning going, it can't just be free willy just throwing stuff.
I feel you, man. A lot of people do not know when you throw a fucking punch wrong and that shit hit. Like if you a heavy-handed person, bro, it's sending pain through your fucking arm, your leg, you get everything. Like it's crazy as hell. So you definitely don't want to do that shit twice. And then that's just as an average motherfucker. I mean, like somebody out the streets, out the hood, or the boardroom who just come and throw an overhand and they hit hard, but they hit wrong. You'd be like, oh my God. Now, multiply that times 80, because Roy's a fucking professional who really throws that shit the right way. And if that shit land wrong and it breaks, you guys can imagine the fucking like discomfort you're instantly in. And then a lot of people don't realize, like you said, he's broken it multiple times at 4 ounces. So Roy also got to do a dope job of keeping a fucking poker face with broken hands in the middle of a goddamn fight. Like, can't even imagine how that is. But the bare knuckle MMA match, were your hands wrapped at all, or were they just straight rubbed up?
The only wraps you do is from here to here, and so like the knuckles all there. But the only reason why you wrap here is so that it compresses your hand. So when you do break it, it doesn't split sideways. So you have to keep it here. So they still protect your knuckles so that you can still throw missiles, but you can't, you just can't throw bombs.
And did it feel like, how did it feel? Like, you know what I mean? Like, how did it feel when you first got in there just straight MMA bare knuckle, not boxing?
The range is just different. Takedown, like, actually I was the whole fight I was looking for, like, I had a game plan, and the plan was, I was gonna go in and do I was gonna get my a submission win. That was the game plan, but then he punched me in my face, and it was like getting kicked. You know how when you get kicked, that one, the one you're like, did he just kick me?
Like, yo, motherfucker, did you just?
And you're like, I'm gonna go get my kick on. So I got hit in the face. I was like, oh no, he did not, and I'm gonna go punch him in his face. But my plan was still to go do submission.
Yeah, you don't got to gloves away.
But I'm like, we got to put that on hold right now.
Yeah,
and we got to do this other thing because I got to get my kick on.
I was just explaining that to my son. He was like, well, why'd that guy kick like that? I'm like, listen, when you kick somebody, and bro, if they kick you the right way, you look at me like, motherfucker, and there's something in you, it makes you like, yo, I got to kick you back now. Like that shit, you're not just going to kick me like that. So it tends to happen where you can pull a kick out of somebody. I'm like, that's a lot of people's game plan. They kick you to pull a kick out, and then they'll do some sort of counter or something. So it might have been his game plan. I'm going to get a punch out of Roy. But the thing is, if Roy lands the punch, there's not really too much game plan after that shit. So as we found out, it was first round. What was the time on it? Right off the bat?
I think there's like maybe a minute and almost 2 minutes left. Like
2 minutes left?
Minute 50, yeah.
Okay, so it was about the right time. So he did that little thing, that diagram, fuck around and find out. He went too far of the fuck around, and Roy met him right at the find out part. And then you guys see that's what happened right there. So
yeah, Roy's face looks nice and clean. Doesn't look like he was in a bare knuckle MMA match too recently.
No. I'm pretty.
You know who Roy always reminds me of, though? When I see Roy, makes me want to watch the same movie over and over. it makes me want to watch Bloodsport. Remember Van Damme's homie, the big one from Nerds, the Revenge of the Nerds and all that? She was like, he just took the brick and broke it on his fucking head.
Yeah, Jackson.
Jackson. Was that the name? Jackson?
Mm-hmm.
Now, wait. That's not the same dude from the program that was Latimer, was it? No.
I don't think so.
No. See, look, I'm getting too far off with the movies. Here we go. Anyways, yeah.
So
Back on track. Back on track. My last couple questions I got for you, Roy.
Do you see yourself doing any bare-knuckle MMA?
That wasn't my fucking question. Hey. Don't you interrupt my questions with your questions, Brock. All right?
Hey,
that was a Brock question, just so we know. Just so we know, that's a Brock talk. Go ahead, Brock. Ask your fucking question, buddy.
Anyway, as I was saying before, I was really interrupted. Do you have any more aspirations of doing any more bare-knuckle MMA or anything like that?
You know what? Went home, talked to the wife. We're kind of, I kind of, my goal was still to try to get my boxing on. Like that's still like on the bucket list. That was kind of like how we got it here, basically here in the first place. But then, when somebody starts talking about belts and stuff like that, I'm like, that looks good on the shelf,
Hey, yeah. I wouldn't know yet, but hey, I could have.
Well, there you go. But also, just in case, I'm gonna go ahead and throw this out there. Y'all heard him. His goal is to get the boxing on. So I'm gonna just go ahead and throw this out there right now. So no disrespect, but Shannon Cannon, if you're ready, Big Country Roy Nelson, you know what I mean? Let's go, champ. Big Roy, we got a fight right here, you know what I mean? Roy ain't no pie. What you like to call him? He ain't no pie. So, you know what I mean? Shannon and Roy, I think we need to make that happen. I'm going to go ahead and be the Dana Black of this situation. And, you know what I mean? Try to promote that. Dana Black Promotions. You know what I mean? No, but that would be dope as fuck, though. I definitely hope you get that boxing match. Now, on to the fucking most important part of this. We did not take the time to do. I heard you say it, and I got to acknowledge it. We all need to stand back right now. Shout out to Roy Nelson's wife. I hope none of you guys get to meet her because she's so goddamn awesome. I want to keep that little trinket like right there. So shout out to Miss Country. She is the fucking truth. Definitely got to shout her out. All right, Roy. So important questions. You got 6 of them. First one. What fucking superpower would you want if you had to have any?
Superpower. Oof. You know what?
Besides your right hand, we need another one.
I'll be like, never really thought about it. Maybe
would you
we'll go speed.
Invisible or would you fly?
I'd probably prefer invisible.
So you're definitely a pervert. All right, cool. Now, anybody who picks invisible, I'm assuming they're a little pervert in their little heads. They're just gonna creep around like, yeah.
No, because if you fly, you just look like a freak.
You do. And then people, when you say fly, people never be like, can I breathe when I'm up there? Like, no one ever asks that question. It's like, yeah, it might die. You can fly, but you might die as soon as you get up there. So there's that part. Now, number 2. If you could put together any dream fight, it could be any martial artist or whatever, dead, alive, walking, movie versus real, who's your top 2 you're going to throw in there?
Top 2?
Yes, I'm capping. I'm getting Roy with the hard question.
No, because like for me, it'd be like me versus Fedor. Like if I was because there's not like a guy that I'm like, oh, I want to watch that. Like there's guys I want to watch, but like I always want to do like who would I want to fight? Like those, and that would be like I've always wanted the Fedor fight. And I've been holding on that for the last. That's the reason why I haven't been fighting for the last 2 years, is because I was dragged along by Scott Coker because I was like, yeah, that could happen. Let me just see.
So, well, Dream fights Fedor. We still gonna make that happen. Fuck that. We're gonna make that happen. Dana Black gonna pull some strings, baby. You know what I mean? But all right, now number 3 question: Great white shark or killer whale?
Killer whale.
Indica or sativa?
Was it is it indica? That's the
That's the chill one.
The chill one. Yeah, indica.
That's the player. Last question. Most important question. Lighter or wick?
Lighter or wick? Lonn wick, duh.
Oh, okay. Just making sure, you know what I mean? There we go, baby. Those were the hard questions. Shout out to my guy, Big Country Roy Nelson in the building at the High Rollers podcast. Roy, thank you for taking the time out to deal with us. You know, we are not the sharpest tools in the box, but at least we are in there and we are trying to fix something. So,
Cool.
man, Big Long.
I will see you May 28th.
Yes.
High Rollers in Arizona.
High Rollers in Arizona, May 28th. Actually, Roy, you got to fucking man, you got to train me and my brother Breeze one time, man. As a big guy, we got to get in there and like work with you, mix jiu-jitsu. Oh, Breeze got a title fight June 30th in LA. Muay Thai's going down. It's going to be crazy. So, you know what I mean? We got to get some lessons from Big Country Roy Nelson too. We need the heavyweight OG to show us some shit.
We'll get some work done.
Hell yeah. All right, shout out to Roy. Brock. Forget you, Brock.
Hey, thank you so much for coming on, Roy. I really appreciate it.
Thanks, Brock.
It was a great honor. I'd love it if since Scott Coker never made that happen, if fucking Dave Fieldman called you guys up and was like, Fedor, Big Country, let's do this in BKFC. That'd be crazy.
That would be crazy.
But yeah. But we have a couple events other than May 28th coming up. I'm just gonna announce again, run through real quick. Like I said, we got May 28th, Phoenix, Arizona.
AZ.
Big Country will be there.
Big Country in this motherfucker.
In DC in June. You can check the dates on our Instagram. We have San Diego in July. And we are working. We don't have any dates announced yet, but we're working on a little Boston after that. So be on the lookout for the date announcement and kind of the area and whatnot. But, you know, the Northeast United States, just know we're coming.
Yeah, we coming, Brock, teasing y'all asses. I'm firing shit straight out. We got Boston coming up right after Boston. NYC, make sure y'all motherfuckers is ready to cut. We coming with some heat from New York. So that's coming up right after New York. I think we're going to have our goddamn jiu-jitsu and wrestling back in Michigan. Guys, listen, Michigan, pay attention to what I'm saying right now. High Rollers Wrestling is coming back. Duels, Michigan versus Ohio. Get your teams together now. Michigan versus Ohio, High Rollers Wrestling. We will be back in the building. We're getting that date together for you guys ASAP. Brock has all the info you guys need. So remember, if you don't see me, you see Brock, you see Panama. Those are my eyes and ears. They got all the questions, the answers you need for the questions and all that shit. That's it for me, Dana Black. I'm about to be out. Smoke weed every day.
Bye, guys.
Thank you so much.